Moviesucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast, it's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Moviesucktastic or want to become a part of Moviesucktastic, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Moviesucktastic, you can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com, or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Moviesucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie is sharing it.
Whatever it is, it's alive and deadly. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. See it while it's still on the loose before they get it in a straitjacket. It's alive. Rated PG.
You are listening to Moviesucktastic.
Dude. Whoa, dude, no! Oh!
Dude. Hey there.
Oh, hey. Oh, sorry. Trailed off there.
Oh, yeah. I'm tired.
Hello, everyone.
I'm tired.
Yes, tired and ready to go on this new episode of Moviesucktastic.
Yay.
Episode 300
and
something?
4.
Yes. We've been dragging this year since the Oscars, but we're catching up.
It's okay. I think we're even with the Oscars, because we did so many episodes, I think we're only 15 episodes behind.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Which, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's
well, anyway,
fine.
Welcome to Moviesucktastic, where we're counting through the years on our new format, and we're currently still stuck in 1974. I am currently 1 year old, and Joey has not yet been born.
I'm not even itching in my daddy's pants, as Riggs says. No, not Riggs.
Yes.
Is it Riggs? Danny Glover's character in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, Riggs.
Is Riggs,
no,
right?
Murtaugh.
Yeah.
You got it backwards.
I had it backwards.
And this episode, we're reviewing the Larry Cohen classic, It's Alive.
It's Alive.
Now, I love Larry Cohen. I'm a huge fan.
Yes, I do enjoy Larry Cohen myself.
The Stuff, Return to Salem's Lot, The Ambulance, God Told Me To, which we reviewed on the show.
We have reviewed that one.
I'm a huge fan of his, and this is one I never got around to seeing. And I was hoping to watch the 2 sequels to it as well before we got to this part, but I didn't.
I'm lucky I was able to get this in. Because I've never seen It's Alive.
No, me neither. Like I said, I always put it off.
I've never seen it.
And I watched this alone. The wife refused on any and all counts to sit with me on this one.
Same. I didn't even ask. I just watched it alone. I literally crammed this in last night and on my lunch break today.
And I I've got mixed feelings on it. This is I definitely think it's better than Rosemary's Baby, but
yeah,
I mean it's got its moments.
At least you get to see this baby.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, well, even a little bit is more than in Rosemary's Baby, which was nil.
Yeah, I'll tell you right off the bat, though, the first thing about this film that really caught me off guard was the opening credits, which was just a wall of flashlights.
Oh yeah, it was.
Which
I mean, you figure that out later.
Well,
but
yeah, because it kind of hints to like the half hour, almost. It feels like a half an hour. They spend wandering sewer tunnels.
It's at least 15 minminutes.
It actually reminded me, and I wonder if this was intentional, because Larry Cohen's old school. There's that I believe it was The Indestructible Man. It was one of those.
Okay.
Like bad ones, and like the last half hour of the film is them trying to chase him down in the sewers, and it was like just like this is like the flashlights. This wasn't as bad, but I just kept adding flashbacks to that.
So do you want to explain the format?
What was the Monster a Go-Go? It might have been Monster a Go-Go.
Oh, maybe it was Monster a Go-Go.
It might, yeah. That I might be conflating those two. But I'm sorry, what?
No, I was going to say, I've explained the format the last 3 episodes. Do you want to do a take on the new format?
Sure. We're trying to fill in the gaps of our previous film experiences. And so I came up with the idea of starting with the earliest year of our existence, which for me is 1973, the year I was born. And then I started it, and in the past we would pick a movie to challenge each other based on a theme or some kind of similarity, actor, theme song, shot, whatever, between the films. But now what we're doing is we're just picking films in each year that we feel we have to review that have slipped through the cracks while we've been jumping around randomly. And as we challenge back and forth to each other, and each person option to either choose another film from the same year or advance us to the next year.
There you go. Yeah, and a perfect example of what you were saying with the old format. The old format, Scott, probably would have challenged me to Monster a Go-Go because of that sewer scene. Because the two scenes or the theme, the thematic part of both of those movies kind of match, and that's all you need for a challenge.
But
with the old format.
I would have put you right on to It's Alive too. And besides, I wouldn't have, because it's your challenge this week.
That it is my challenge this week, and stay with us, because we might be staying in 1974, or I might feel we need to go into 1975.
Now we're staying in 74.
Shh.
We just started. Come on. But anyway, It's Alive is the charming little story of your typical 70s middle class, middle upper class nuclear family that gives birth to an abomination.
A total abomination, and we find out why later in the film.
No, we don't.
Sure we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. They don't say... Well,
her doctor...
Right. No.
Hold on.
Well, we'll discuss this later. Let's get to the basics first.
Okay.
So the film starts with flashlights shining at the screen, and then we get to a house, and I was automatically thrown off by two things. One, the father is Frank Davies,
or John P. Ryan,
that actor, right?
Who I love.
Who is and what film was he in?
Oh, Runaway Train.
Runaway Train.
And
Runaway. It's called Runaway, isn't it?
No, it's Runaway Train.
Okay, Runaway Train. Yeah.
And 3 O'Clock High.
The principal. That's the one that hit me first. It's like
don't fuck this up, Mitchell. Don't fuck this up, Mitchell. And
my wife has never seen that.
Oh no.
Because we were watching a Family Guy and I was like, oh, it's 3 O'Clock High. She's like, I've never seen it. Says, oh, you break my heart every time you say stuff like that.
You got to get on that. They recently released that on Blu-ray, so.
Yeah, they even did like they even switched it around with that school fight thing with Charlie and
Ice Cube,
whatever.
Oh yeah, it was a total ripoff.
Yeah.
And what the hell was that called? That was called Fist Fight. Fist Fight.
Class Fight. Fist Fight.
Fist Fight. And the thing is, Mare wanted to see it really, really bad, so I had gotten it for him. We watched it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch 3 O'Clock High.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it wasn't terrible. But
I like Charlie Day, and I'm just glad to see him get a starring role. But
but here's my main problem with it. I've already seen that movie, and it was much better.
Yeah.
You
hey,
know?
at least he got all of that Pacific Rim money.
Yeah.
But
God.
so what struck me in this opening is, so the two things that struck me is, one, I immediately hated John Ryan's character.
Immediately hated him.
Immediately. Just like goofy, smiling, mumbling. He mumbles through the whole fucking film.
Yeah.
There's one scene where he says something. I turned it up and I rewound it 4 times and I couldn't make a word. It was like, it's just,
Oh, you know what? I was watching it, but it's like, shit, probably should have watched it with the subtitles on for that part.
I
just
looked
to
for
see.
subtitles. I couldn't find any. I got to look
Oh,
again.
my copy has subtitles.
Yours did. Where the fuck were you? Shit.
Yeah, you should have texted me.
We'll have to compare copies because I need the subtitles.
After the show, we can go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, the weird thing was, like, she wakes up, it's like, oh, it's time, and all of a sudden, I'm used to the film and television thing where it's like, oh, it's a mad dash now, and then she's in labor, and we're running through the doors. They're like, no, they're getting ready for an airplane trip that afternoon.
Yeah.
Like, he's like brushing his teeth. They're like packing. It's like, oh, go wake up the kid. Let me mess with him in his sleep for a little bit. Hey, look at this. The cat's pawing you. The minute I saw that cat, it's like, that cat's gonna die. Oh, that's a dead cat.
That's a dead cat. Foreshadowing a bit.
He spends like a full 5 minutes like mumbling to the kid in his bed. The kid, who, by the way, through the entire film, perpetually looks like he just woke up.
Yeah.
After that scene, there is no scene where he does not look, even when he's running at the end, he looks like he just woke up and started running.
Now, here's the difference. I mean, yes, as far as...
By the way, son of a film director. So, just so you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Here's the difference. I watched this, and he's taking their time, and it's like, oh, it's time. And I didn't think anything weird of it, because I've done this twice.
Yes, you've done it. I only know what I know from TV and movies, because I've never had to go through that nonsense. So I was like, what? Wait, why is everyone so casual? She's ready to, give birth. What the... Oh, let's run him by the friend's house, the creepy Uncle Bob, who's definitely fucking that.
Oh, hey.
Oh, he's got the ice cream laced with sleepos. And...
Gotta fuck that little dog.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, we're fine. He comes out in his bathrobe. Let's go make some waffles. Yeah, I know what that means. All right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's let him stay with our bachelor friend. What? Really? Anyway, sorry, but
Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie.
Now, Larry Cohen's films always have some kind of deeper meaning, and I really like this film is the same way, obviously.
Right.
And I think he handles some things well. Now, I'm sorry, did I overtalk with you anything about the opening sequence?
No.
Well, when they get to the hospital, he's in the waiting room with the other guys.
Yeah.
I really like the way it's not subtle by any means. I like the way how he segued into the whole idea of like pollution and everything with the guy. Like, I need something to stir my coffee. Here's my pencil. I've been using it for the past 5 hours. Which immediately leads into like, oh, there's garbage everywhere and lead. And oh yeah, you got to see these rich folks' homes with the. What did he say was their big problem?
Oh,
it wasn't rats. It was something like, there's like, you know what the bigger problem that they have is.
Oh no, it wasn't rats. It was
Right. I'm saying it wasn't rats.
Slugs.
It was
Slugs.
Oh yeah, slugs. No, these slugs. They can't get rid of the slugs.
They can go through a lawn in 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. And then the freaky guy that's like 2 days away from like opening fire at a garlic festival. Yeah. He's like banging I can't get my coffee out of the machine. He's like, hey dude, here, have some
Stole my
knives.
50 cents. Here's your 50 cents.
And again,
go do something.
It didn't really hit me until the second act, where they really set up John Ryan's character as like this really mellow guy, not a care in the world. Whatever. Hey, have some kids. Why? What are you guys talking about doom and gloom for? We're having kids here. Who wants to play poker? Just and just like the transition of from that to like, yeah, I want to be the one who kills him.
It's got to be me.
It's once you see that transition, I started really just loving him as an actor.
Oh yeah. My favorite line in the movie comes from him, and it's early on in the film. It's so after they get to the hospital, and the whole scene with all the guys, and it's totally different nowadays. I mean, I don't even want to say the last 20 years. It's probably even longer than that. When this movie was made, I guess it was kind of the norm that the husband.
I like it where he's like tapping on the glass. Hey, ting. It's not a pet store guy. What the fuck? Your kid's not even born yet. Those aren't your kids. Sorry, I had said that.
But the men are not in the delivery room.
Right.
I was in the delivery room for both of my children, and I know plenty of people that were in the delivery room even 20 plus years ago.
No one invited. So
no one. Well, it just goes to show that there was a time when men just didn't do that. They just waited around, for them to get done.
Well, and throughout the film, they do show that contrast between the male role and the female role in the family, and now there's stuff later on that I think you're referring to, and I think you're mistaken on, where they do kind of lean about like, oh, the chemical today and what's going to happen, and there's a bit of thalidomide running through that theme too, but that's just part of the story, because the other part of it is I kind of took the film as saying, okay, think of a parents of like a guy who grows up to be a serial killer, so something like that, where like their child becomes a monster. So, and just dial it back to, okay, the kid's the monster the minute it comes out of the fucking womb.
Yeah, apparently being delivered, it's scared shitless, and that's when it kills things, is when it's scared.
Well, by things you mean every doctor and nurse in the operating room.
Every single one.
Yes.
But my favorite line, going back to that,
is that during the sequence?
Yeah, it's after he charges into the delivery room, because a doctor comes out like holding his like neck or something. He's bleeding out. Yeah, and he goes in there.
And the first thing to do is they drag him out like he's the major problem.
Yeah.
Because hold on, you got a room full of dead people. The frantic father's the least of your fucking worries.
Yeah, and they drag him out, and he looks at them and he goes, "This hospital stole my baby." My favorite line by far.
My favorite line is like 3 minutes later when the cop is played by Lieutenant Perkins, by James Dixon. Now, he was also the postman in The Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The one with like the
yeah.
And then he has the wide mouth later. That's where I recognized him from immediately.
I didn't recognize him from anything.
And you didn't recognize him from The Stuff?
I didn't.
Aw. And
I've seen that movie, like, no joke. I've probably seen The Stuff like 15 times. And it just didn't hit me that he was.
That's the first scene guy. Where Chocolate Chip Charlie, or whatever his name is, meets up with Mo, the post office.
Yeah. Oh my god. Sorry.
But so the doctor. Now the doctor, the actor's name is Seamus Locke. He's done like nothing else, which shocked me, because the minute I saw that guy, I was like, I know that motherfucker. Apparently, I don't.
You don't. He just.
But he's got
like
that face where immediately you're just like, yeah, I know this guy and I hate him.
Yeah, he's the Irish brogue and everything.
It's perfect. Just like you just knew it as a motherfucker.
You have to kill it. You have to kill it now.
Because like the doctor and the doctor and the lieutenant both come up to, are both there after, and the doctor's just immediately like, you've been exposed to radiation. The thing was a monster. It's like, dude, bedside manner. What the fuck?
Yeah. And
the lieutenant definitely eventually becomes. You quickly learn that the lieutenant's someone to trust. But there's that part where the doctor's drilling the father. And he's like, oh, didn't you contact information about abortion? It's like, yeah, who doesn't this day and age? And
That's right.
Yeah, we contemplated it, but then we decided against it, and we had the kid. And then you just hear the lieutenant go, oh, we all make mistakes. And then off screen, like which must have been a last minute addition, it's like, oh, I'm sorry for that crack. And he's like, I'm sorry for that last crack. Like he was making several. He wasn't. But it's like. But I just thought his face was, because he wasn't even like joking. He was like, "Yeah, we all make mistakes." Hey. Yeah.
I obviously shouldn't have had this little bastard.
My favorite scenes are ones with the lieutenant and the father on the same screen, because
they're good.
Just those two. It's just, I don't know, something, but they had a chemistry that I really fell for.
Well, I love John P. Ryan. I'll watch him in anything. It just. And
there's a screenshot of him on one of these things where he's wearing a white jacket. What is that from? Or a white shirt? I recognize it. And it's got it's got a clover on it, and I don't recognize what it's from.
Huh.
I didn't know if you could think about it. If you go to IMDb, it's like one of the main pictures they show him with the white jacket. It's like a Nehru jacket.
Let me look.
And I can't place it, and it's bugging the shit out of me.
Yeah, it might not. Oh yeah, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it when they have a picture, but they don't say the movie that it's from. I hate that.
I can't place it. I mean, I want to say a sci-fi film, but
yeah, there's another picture of him. Oh, it's called The Cell Within.
The Cell Within?
From 1989.
89.
So if you look at his photos at the bottom, they have a picture of him, the one that you're looking at. But if you go to the picture before it, it's a zoomed out shot.
It's a Miami Vice episode. That's why. Okay.
No, is it?
The Cell Within is the name of a Miami Vice episode.
Oh yeah, 47 minutes. There it is.
He looks like he's playing like a
not a priest, but like a monk, or
no, like a psychedelic priest,
like a cult leader,
like a Timothy Leary type guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like from the old Dragnet episode.
I'm thinking cult leader.
I am the new way to go. I am the way of the future.
Yeah, he's what's his face from Judge Dredd.
He's not a Mardasante.
Not a Mardasante. The other guy.
Okay.
The guy that was leading like the cult in the movie. He was wearing like a tunic. Like, you don't trust anyone wearing a tunic.
No. Oh, we live by those rules. Great fucking movie. Now, so
too bad it made no money.
This is like the one Will Ferrell film I love. We're talking about Lost.
Land of the Lost. I actually just had this conversation not that long ago with someone other than you about how good that movie is and how it made $0.
And how like the previous 4 films of his were complete shit fuck, like just like random runoff films, and they all like made like mega money.
Tons of money.
Yeah. At work today, somebody keeps quoting Talladega Nights, and I was like, I fucking no. Why is that the film being quoted and not Land of the Lost? I just
Land of the Lost
it
cost like $100 million.
Jesus Christ!
It cost $100 million, and now I have to find out how much it made, because I'm pretty sure it didn't. It made bombed. Like maybe a third of that.
Bombed, yeah, and it was a fucking beautiful, hilarious film.
Are you tired of always being right? I really am.
I really am. Matt Lauer can suck it. Man, did they call that?
Yeah.
Hey. Don't give some credit for that. But so after the baby kills all these people in the hospital tells them they want confidentiality, then they immediately leak his name to the press.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in his car ride home from the massacre, it's on the radio. It's like, motherfuckers, you leaked my name. And then, and I tell you, that it should have been boring. It should have been unnecessary. But that sequence where he goes to work the next day and the boss calls him in was fucking painful.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, they're gonna fuck this guy. He knows it too, and like, he's like, oh, just take your vacation time off. That's good. After he leaves, the secretary comes in and is like, yeah, pack up his stuff from his desk and send it to him. He's not coming back. You got no friends. You got no friends, Frank. You got no friends.
So Land of the Lost cost $100 million. It made $49 million domestically, $19 million in the foreign market, for a total of $68 million.
And
didn't even make its budget.
Even like video, it didn't break even.
Yeah, and it came out June 5th.
Summer film.
It was a summer movie. Yeah. It came out the same weekend as The Hangover. The first Hangover.
Ooh.
So, I mean, who...
Bad luck.
Well, the thing is, nobody knew that film was going to be that big.
But that's what I'm saying. But like it did word of mouth. It's one of those films that word of mouth just skyrocketed it. Land of the Lost, no one went to see it, so there was no word of mouth.
Because oh my God, all right, the following week or the same day, the woman that did what's her name, Nia Vardalos. She was the one that was in my Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, that one, yeah.
She had another Greek comedy called My Life in Ruins, which did terribly. Same weekend. Mm-hmm. Then the following weekend...
Hey, Windex, get it?
The following weekend, Imagine That, and the remake of The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. Is that Coke Vanilla?
It's actually Coke Zero Orange Vanilla.
Oh, I like the Coke Orange Vanilla.
It's washing down the gin. That's all that matters.
I don't like the diet version of that. I don't like anything.
I don't want the sugar. I'm sorry.
That's too bad. It's too bad. And then the following week is The Proposal, another romantic comedy, and Year One, which was that Jack Black, Michael Cera caveman movie.
Oh, yeah, thank God that bombed.
My Sister's Keeper.
I forgot about that piece of that. I didn't make it to the trailer, I don't think.
Wow. It's interesting to look back 10 years ago at summer releases before Marvel and DC has completely taken over the summer weekends, because I'm looking at these movies coming out and it's like it's The Hangover and Land of the Lost, My Life in Ruins, Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. These are the summer movies heading into 4th of July. The Proposal, Year One, My Sister's Keeper. Now we're actually in 4th of July weekend, and it's Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, which was the sequel to Transformers, which made a shit ton of money. But here's the thing. Nobody else was even thinking about competing with anything leading up to that release at all. And then Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, the Johnny Depp movie, Public Enemies, the Sacha Baron Cohen film, Bruno.
Ugh.
I mean, Harry Potter. And
out of all, you've listed every film from that summer. The only one I'd want to watch right now is Land of the Lost. And Hangover.
And The Hangover, yeah. August 7th, G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra.
Jesus Christ. The sequel?
Was the first one.
That was the first one?
That was the first one.
Why does the first one have a subtitle, a subname? Just call it G.I. Joe. Why would you give it?
I don't know. That was the first one, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. What was it called?
The Rise of Cobra.
Isn't that I think that's the second one.
Is it?
I'll double check that while you're doing your thing.
No, that's the first one.
Because
then, in 2013, they made G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Oh, Retaliation, that's right. That Bruce Willis is in that, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, and The Rock. Trying to save that one.
You guys got a free weekend? Yeah, sure. Why? What do you got? G.I. Joe 2? All right.
Oh, and then District 9 came out August 14th, which was awesome.
First Oscar film on your list.
Yeah. Inglourious Bastards came out a week later.
Ah, there it is.
And then the summer... the summer ends with The Final Destination, which it wasn't the final one, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Oh, that was a fun one.
But dude, that was the summer of 2009.
50%.
No superhero movies.
Since you just mentioned it, 50% of the people in my office that I talk to are just now seeing Inglourious Bastards.
What?
Because of the new one that's out now.
Oh my God.
Yes. Oh, I've never seen it before. The fuck? Really? So yeah, people keep telling me I should see Pulp Fiction. Please stop talking to me.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, this is what I have to deal with on a daily basis.
25 years old. This is its 25th anniversary.
This is what I'm dealing with. You know?
Jesus. Well, I have someone that he's young. He's like 29. And he just doesn't watch movies. So it's not something like I say, hey, have you seen this movie? When he says no, I know it's just because he doesn't watch movies.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not. I'm not dealing with the same thing you are.
It's like when I say, "Hey, we're reviewing It's Alive this week," and no one blinks. I get it.
Yeah,
I'm not whatever, but Pulp Fiction. Come on.
And here's the thing: Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Bastards are realistically the two best things. Now, I'm not saying his other films. His other films are very good, but those are probably his number 1 and number 2 movie, and I interchange both of those. Sometimes I feel Inglourious Bastards is the better film, and then sometimes I feel like Pulp Fiction is the better film.
Well, I mean, I had to correct somebody. I don't know. It's like I can't even.
What?
Well, there's like Pulp Fiction. It's like, oh, doesn't that begin at the ending? It's like, no, it doesn't. It actually begins like, I can't even. It like begins like in the middle. So let's stop there. But somebody else was like, yeah, but, I don't think it was that big of a deal. I said, well, all right. Considering the time period, no one else was really doing nonlinear until this came out.
That's right.
So it's a good film on its own, but you have to understand the time period too. It's like when you watch Citizen Kane, it's like, I don't get it. The camera angles, whatever. What the fuck? Yeah, consider the time period.
Yeah.
This film invented some of the shit that you're used to seeing these days.
Orson Welles put that camera, like a camera that was hundreds of pounds, on its back, and had people walk on like plate glass. The camera was underneath it. And
they invented camera lenses. Oh. Like he invented camera lenses to do like the split thing.
Yeah.
So I felt the same way the first time I saw it too, but you have to take a historical aspect. I guess I'm old enough now where Pulp Fiction is actually a historical film.
Oh God.
Oh. Anyway, It's Alive.
It's alive.
So after he loses his job, the father loses his job, the mother is going crazy.
She's literally, and I would say slowly, but it's moving rapidly. Given the time period of her giving birth to her, like basically her story arc it's pretty quick.
And it's greeted as madness by the father, but at the same time it's like a level of postpartum depression, which is a real thing. Of course. And that goes into that too. And again, this is how like parents are coping with the idea that their child is a monster. In this case, literally a monster. And how they're dealing with it. And she's trying to smooth over the edges and just forget, she's trying to put blinders on, forgetting what she even saw in the operating room and just like, love her child. Right. While the father is rejecting him as even being his. It is not mine. He is not mine.
No, yeah, he actually, his exact words were, "It is no relation to me."
No relation to me. It's not. That's not. That boy did not come from my loins.
Son, when I get home, I'm gonna punch your mama. There is no way that you came from my loins. Oh my God! What year is that? I think that's 77.
I don't even know.
I think it is. It's like 76 or 77. Yeah. Smokey and the Bandit, Jackie Gleason. It's too fucking good.
So while the baby's running around killing people throughout the city, including milkmen.
Yeah. And I'm watching the film and I'm like, wow, people are still getting milk delivered, huh? And I was thinking, like, is it being delivered cold? Or is that shit even pasteurized? I'm like, you're just leaving milk out on the stoop. No, it's
not up to here.
Uh-huh. But I'm just thinking that, like, that's what I'm thinking more than anything. And it was, the brand was Carnation. And I'm like, wow, those fuckers are still making creamers for coffee, like, to this very day. And for all I know, milk. But, well, yeah. Yeah. But I'm like...
But yeah, the baby kills the milkman, and then I love the scene where the cops all rush the house and they point the guns at the baby.
Oh.
And I swear, like it shows the baby like looking at him silly. It cuts to the guns pointed right at the baby, cuts to the baby, cuts to the guns, and then it goes black, and I'm waiting for the gunshot. Not because it would be funny, but tragic, but also funny.
But but when the milkman gets it, you see, and what they show the baby's sight from its point of view. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of weird, but they say babies can't see so great, even when it's not a monster.
Yeah, they talk for shit.
Yeah. We're the weakest animal on the planet. When we're born, we're the weakest animal on the planet. There's nothing
but then we hit adulthood
and
we fucking raise everything.
Well, destroy everything. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, they're showing this baby's sight from its point of view, and they just use kind of like a double vision to do that.
I think he was underwater.
Like it was cross-eyed or something.
I think the baby had a cold. I think that's all it really was.
Is that really what? Okay.
Yeah.
Please. But they show they show the milkman with a list of things that he needs to deliver to said address, and he reaches in and he puts something. Reaches in and then he puts something down, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is where he bites it. There's just he absolutely bites it here. And on like the fourth or fifth thing that he reaches in to grab, he doesn't come back out. You just see his legs.
The legs kicking, and like that, and the shot of the ironically, the shot of police officers holding loaded guns on a newborn child is the last moment of levity in this film.
Yeah.
Ironically, that's the last time you laugh, at least intentionally. Intentionally. And after that, Larry said, "Hey, we're going to take it serious now. We're going to bring things down a bit,
just a little bit.
bit."
After the milkman gets it, some milk's breaking, and he's like bleeding out, and the milk in the back turns like a pinkish color because the blood is mixing with the milk, and it's just pouring all over the ground. Yeah, poor milkman.
And like shortly after that, again, one of the great Lieutenant Perkins lines, like, "Hunting and killing babies doesn't seem to be my specialty." And the guy's like, "What are you griping for? You're lucky you don't have kids." Yeah. So, and in that time, the father is in such denial that he sells the rights to his baby's corpse for $100,000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like the doctor's there, at that point, every time like the authority, any kind of authority is dealing with the father, with the baby, the doctor's right there.
Now
and now when the doctor was with the professor at his house, and nice pool by the way, and he's telling him and he signs the contracts to sell the rights to his baby's corpse. The doctor's there and is like, yeah, right now he's just like this weird, evil guy hovering in the background. But the minute he shows up with the lieutenant later, it's like, why is he with the fucking cops? That's when I knew, all right, something's going to happen to this guy.
Oh, yeah.
They really want us to hate this guy because he's like, every chance they get, he's like there. Yeah, by the way, the baby has to die.
Now, after I watch a movie, I always go and I take a look and just read as much as I can about it, what other people think, and I always skim the Wikipedia page, and the Wikipedia page talks about how the doctor was prescribing contraception, birth control to the wife, and that's why the baby came out all deformed and fucked up.
All right, but they don't say that in the film.
No, but they do allude to it.
All right, no, but this is the whole thing,
and they want to keep them quiet about it too.
No, but if you remember the conversation, this is where I think you're a little confused here, is they hint at this stuff. They say, oh, there's environmental stuff. And then there's the thalidomide shit, the drugs we're giving these mothers and stuff. When the doctor talks to that corporate guy, he says we want to quash the investigation because if we find out that our medicine is what caused this is going to be trouble. So we don't want that baby's remains to even survive whatever happens to it.
Which pretty much means that it's their fault.
No. It means they want to make sure it doesn't come out that it's their fault in case it is.
I think without saying it, it says that it's their fault and it's their drugs that caused this baby to be deformed.
But then you're ignoring the whole opening scene with the fathers where they talk about poisons in the system, the lead, and how nature overwhelming as well. That's what the whole slug thing is about. It's like even nature can turn on you at this point. Larry, he puts out all the different things, so you can't really pin one down. There's all these different aspects that you can blame. But in the end, does it even matter who you're blaming? Because it's like, with the Silicate, well, what happened? Why did he end up killing children and eating their brains and then storing their bodies in weird poses? Well, it's just, does it matter, what happened that he got there? So the parents are trying to deny that it's their influence that caused this baby to happen, but there's no definitive proof that it wasn't them. So, everybody's just trying to avoid blame. So, Larry is very specific in not pointing specific blame at one option, but just laying it wide. It could just be a freak in nature. It could be chemicals. It could be the drugs. There's all these different variables, but when push comes to shove, the just the baseline reality is that your child is a freak killing people.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. And then the end of the film too, like the very end.
Hold on, don't jump to the end because that's the best part.
Well, it has to do with what we're talking about right now. So.
I know, but
So anyway, moving on. Where were we? We were at.
We're at him selling the rights to the court.
Selling rights. Okay.
The baby's running around. The cops are following him. So at one point, the cops get called to an elementary school.
That's right.
And the doctor gets a call at the father's house because in those days they didn't have pagers or cell phones or smart secretaries because she tells a random guy what the message for the doctor. And that's how the father finds out that the cops have tracked his mutant baby, to his son's elementary school.
Yeah, for a mutant baby, this thing gets around pretty quickly and knows where stuff is.
How does it know where he's going to school?
Yeah, it's very, very weird. After that, the baby ends up back at the Davis's house or the Davies,
right? And I feel like there's a missing. And I feel like there's a missing scene. What?
Davies, yeah.
Yeah, Davies.
So now, he ends up at their house. How did he find the house?
Well, there's a part that I feel like there's a missing scene from this film that I saw, at least, where because bachelor friend Bob says, "Oh, I'll take the young Charlie out fishing."
No, and then, it's Charlie, and the kid's name is the fuck's kid's name? Charlie was the friend, and the kid's name was something else.
Really? I thought Charlie was the kid.
No, Chris was the kid.
Oh, Chris. I'm sorry.
Charlie is the friend. Chris is the kid.
My bad.
It's not really. It's no big deal.
Charlie was the son of a director. I got the names mixed up. But Charlie says, "Oh, I'll take him out fishing. Well, we'll go up to and go fishing." And then when they showed the elementary school, there's a shot of the son's picture and it says, "My favorite barn or something or farm," and it's okay. So he found a picture of Charlie's favorite farm, not Charlie's favorite farm, Chris's favorite farm, and Charlie's gonna take him to the farm to go fishing. It's oh, this is gonna meet up here, but no, it never happens.
No.
So I feel like there's a missing scene.
Well. Does the Blu-ray have deleted scenes? I don't even know. I just watched the movie.
I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah. So, and then after that, John P. Ryan's character Frank, he goes back to his house, and the wife's still crazy, and he's just like, "Chris, come home today." And she's like, no,
hold on.
He's walking around, and he's like, man, something's off.
Why does he ask that?
Well,
do you remember why specifically?
Well, didn't he see something?
Yeah, because in the morning he grabbed 6 bottles of milk, 5 or 6
Fridge
bottles
is
of milk.
empty.
Well, then not yet. That's you're thinking of the meat part where the fridge is empty. What tips him off is he goes into the fridge. He's next to the fridge and he walks over and there's 8 empty milk bottles. And he's like, so then he walks over, he goes to her, he's like, "Was Chris home today?" It's like, was Chris home today? Was he very, very thirsty for milk? It's like, eight quarts, 8 pints. That's 2 quarts of milk. Unless he followed a trail of vomit up to the kid's bedroom, that's not him. That's a lot of fucking milk to be chugging in like a nice summer afternoon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was literally.
And the wife, she's denying it. You look high right now. Connection is poor. This is every week. Scott is only doing Wi-Fi. And then someone hops on his Plex and just eats all of the bandwidth. Oh, all right. I'm going to have to kill this. No, I don't want to sign out. What am I doing? There we go. All right. So, man, I hate it when this happens because I don't want to talk about this alone. It's boring. We can't bounce off each other. It's boring. All right, let's see. Let's see. Are you still there? Well, the message went through, but I'm not thinking that he's getting it. He's probably rebooting right now. All right. So, do we stay in 1974 or do we go to 1975? I already know my movie challenge. Why are you... Oh, he's calling the house line. Oh, Mr. Wilson. Oh. You're calling the house line. Let's see what he says to that. Oh, so much dead air. Why are you not answering? That is the house line. Let's see. Let's see if I can hear her. Mayor just picked up the phone. Scott's on the other end, and he's like, oh, shit, I'm calling the house line, not the Skype line for the show. Why isn't he calling? Why aren't you calling my cell? That's what I want to know. Oh, such good radio. Let's see. Is she going to open the door? I don't know. All right. Let's see. 1974. I've already picked my film, but there are so many movies in 74. Like Phantom of the Paradise. Terrible movie. Scott loves it. I don't like it. But we already reviewed that. Then you got classics like Chinatown, which I would never challenge.
Joe?
Yeah, what's the matter?
Scott lost power. Alright, so call him.
Oh, boy. Why do you call the house line? Let's call Mr. Wilson. He lost power in his house. I think what I'm going to do is put it on speakerphone, and we will just end the show that way.
I'm good. Hello?
You lost power in your house?
The block.
Oh,
It's
my...
like town.
Wow. You have
So, yeah, wrap up the show.
do you have any adverse weather? Like, what's happening?
No, No, nothing.
Oh, I bet I know what it is. It's a million degrees, and all the AC, central air and AC units are just totally killed your grid.
For Texas, it ain't that hot tonight, really.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what we'll do. I'll give you your challenge. Your phone is near the microphone. We're going to end the show poor man's way, but we'll do it that way, okay?
Okay. Hello, people.
Hey!
So anyway, yeah, it's alive. Freaky babies.
Freaky babies.
And they had another one born in Chicago.
Seattle, but still,
Seattle.
Major city. So
Yeah,
I guess
was born.
your argument for pollution and toxic waste and all things like that, it's another major city. It's Seattle. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
but again, it's also big pharma, birth control, whatever. It could go either way. I'm leaning towards drugs. So
So am I, but a different way. So what are you challenging me to, sir?
all right. So the thing is, it's like, do I feel like we still belong in 1974, or should we move to 1975?
And?
We're staying in 1974.
Duh.
And one of the reasons why we're doing this is so that we can do some of the classics, movies that we should be reviewing. This film is considered a classic, but it's not a good film by any means. It's not
above reproach.
No. Well, correct. Yeah. So it's not a. I wouldn't say it's a bad film, but it's definitely reviewable, and it should be reviewed on our show.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to give you a huge hint.
All
right. We talked about.
I can't cheat because I got no power.
I know, but it's part of when you move to Texas. It's a part of what we wanted. We wanted to review Texas movies.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice. Okay, yeah, we definitely have to run through that. Sure.
Yeah. So that came out October 18th, 1974, just in time for the Halloween holiday. Made a lot of money for 1974. I'll say that. It made like $23 million. So.
And the actors saw none of it.
None of it. Absolutely none of it. And we'll get into all of that when we actually review this next week.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, 1974, we are staying there, and we're going to review the Texas Chainsaw Massacre next week. All right, everybody. As always, thank you for joining us for another episode of Moviesucktastic, episode 304. We are ending the show right now. Make sure you go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. Make sure you go to iTunes, and you can download and listen to the show there, just like you can on the website. You can tune in live every week at the website and watch the live stream and hang out with us and watch us review the film, as long as Scott doesn't lose power. And you can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. You can also go and download the 100% free Android app for your Android device. Everything I said is in the Android app. It's actually really well done. It's excellent. It's something you should definitely have. And, well, that's about it. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
I'm in the dark, Charlie. I'm in the dark.
All right, everybody. We will talk to you next week. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.